thinking you can't do it, but
Yeah.
I mean, if I did it, come on.
What's up, guys? My name is Rob, and this is Rob on the Run podcast, a running podcast for all healthy lifestyles. And today, this is episode 19 of season 2. This is Carlos. Carlos, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Awesome. Good, good. Thank you for asking. Other than this is freezing cold weather that we're having, not fun. Not fun for a summer guy like me. I love the heat. I love the humidity. This is no fun for me. How about you, man?
Yeah, over here, well, I have to say also that I'm located in Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm.
We had this specifically this week. It's like a snowstorm, and yeah, it's everything's closed. Like we're all inside. I mean, not the best thing for us runners.
Yeah, yeah. I went out for a small little run 2 days ago. It was like 29 degrees, and I was wearing pants, shorts underneath the pants, uh, double shirt, and then a sweater on top,
Oh wow.
gator,
Oh my
beanie.
I,
Yeah, yeah.
that
It's
sounds a little overdressed. Like
it.
so, and I'm saying that because I did a run on Tuesday,
Yeah,
24 degrees. I
yeah,
was on wearing tights, uh, double the long sleeve
yeah.
shirt, and a vest
Okay.
and gloves. That's it.
Oh yeah,
Well, and a hat, obviously, but
yeah,
that was it. That was good. And I remember one of the girls that ran with us
yeah.
was wearing like you, like a gate, and like when she finished, it was like, oh my God, I'm like, this was suffocating. I was like, well, it takes a little bit to find the perfect outfit for this kind of weather,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, no, I hear you. The thing with me is that I I am so I hate the cold weather so bad that anything under 65 degrees is already cold for me. So maybe that justifies the double layers and the double
Mhm.
pants and everything, man, because it's um even here at my house, my fiance at night likes it very cold, so she puts it like around 70, and then she has the fan going at full blast, and it's cold. It's cold for me. So, but yeah, it's not that fun right now. This is not the best time for me, I guess, as a summer runner.
Yeah.
It's hopefully summer comes in sooner than later.
Well, at least, I mean, what I like, I'm okay with, I guess, very used to it now
Yeah,
that they're in the 30s, I'm fine.
yeah.
40s, I'm good. 50s, like up above 30, I'm good to go. But yeah,
Okay.
like that 20 something, I was like, I don't know. I should, like it's and definitely like last night before this storm was
Yeah.
happening, I was like, I gotta go to the gym because it's gonna be closed and did 15 miles on the treadmill and that's
Wow.
it. Like, I'm set.
Wow.
I'm all
Wow.
set.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll definitely get to that treadmill running because I do see a lot of your social media and you do a lot of not a lot, but you do your fair running on a treadmill and long distances. But
Yeah.
let's start with the easiest question.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
A little bit about myself in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, my name is Carlos Del
Hmm.
Pino. I'm originally from Mexico, a town called Tampico.
Okay.
Um, I actually last night I realized I've been living more of like more time here than
Hmm.
in Mexico now. Like
Okay.
I got here in 2001,
Okay.
so it's been a while. And like you said, I'm an avid runner. I've been an avid runner for almost 13 years.
Wow.
Um, and married. I've been married for 18 years. Have dogs. Well, I had three dogs. Now we only have one Chihuahua. She's 16.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, uh, and I work for Hoka. That's one thing. Yeah, that needs to be mentioned. Yeah, I'm a Hoka field experience representative, aka a market representative.
Hmm.
So yeah, I love my job. I love Hoka. I love running. So all of that. combined is just being with the running community every day.
Yeah.
That's kind of the best thing ever.
Awesome, awesome. And you just mentioned something that kind of keeps us linked in a way. I'm from Mexico. I'm from Guadalajara, but my daughter was born in Tampico. So
Oh,
so she was born. Her mom is from Tampico as well.
hey,
So yeah, when you said Tampico, it reminded me of my daughter. She was born
yeah.
there. She's
Wow.
just like you. She spent most of her life over here. She came when she was 3 months,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's it. And I'm 42 now.
Uh,
I came when I was 3 years old.
oh,
So
wow.
it's basically I lived in the United States most of my
Yeah.
life, but my mama does not let me would hate me if I say that I'm very proud to be Mexican. So and I am a very very proud to be Mexican.
Good.
Chiva Rayada de Guadalajara.
Yeah.
It's I gotta say that. I don't know if you like soccer, and if you do, if you're America, then
I'm
podcast
not.
is over. Podcast is
No.
over.
Actually, I don't, but yeah, my family, my brother is like a huge Club America fan.
Oh my God.
And but my mom, she's like Chivas.
Okay,
She's a
okay.
huge fan.
She
That's
saved them.
that's.
She saved
Oh
them.
yeah, no, like my mom should be like she should work for the like as a sportscaster. Like she knows
Yeah.
a lot, a
Oh
lot.
wow.
So yeah, so I don't know. I didn't get that from her. Like yeah, but yeah, my other brothers too. They're like my other two brothers is like Monterrey,
Okay.
both teams like
Yeah.
Rayados and Tigres.
Tigres. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, so everybody has a team but me. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I am very proud of being a Mexican. So we have something in common, and more now that my daughter, she was born in Tampico, like I said. But Carlos,
It's the alien link.
yeah, there you
I
go.
had to say that.
There you go.
Yeah, people, if you're listening, look that up. Tampico and aliens. That's a very
Okay.
interesting thing to look on the internet. Just saying. Just
That's awesome. That's awesome. But you mentioned you're obviously a runner, and that's why we have you here. And that's awesome that you're Hoka, basically a big Hoka ambassador in a way. But what inspired you to start running, and how has your journey evolved over the years?
Speaking about my brother, the one from fan of the Club America. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
he and I were very close, and 13 years ago or so, I was a little bit overweight, and I kind of like started walking a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess I started doing things too fast, like most people do at the beginning when they
Of
start
course.
exercising,
Yeah.
and I kind of like pulled my back. And he's a physical therapist. That's why I have
Okay.
to mention that. So I asked
Awesome.
him about it, and he said, "Well, you're not gonna like it. One of the things is you need to, watch what you eat and like lose weight and exercise."
Yeah.
So, well, I kind of like go to the gym and say, "What do you like to do at the gym the most?" I said, "Running." And then he said, "Well, try to do that, like just combine everything. But yeah, like if you like running, go for it." So I started running at the gym. This is the silliest part of my journey that when
Yeah.
I started on the treadmill
Mm-hmm.
and I liked it. And I was like, at first it was more about time, like 5 minutes. Oh yeah, that's good. It works. I have
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes. And then at one point, I was like, if I get to, because I noticed the distance. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, if I get to do a 5K, uh, maybe I can go out and run outside.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, like, because if I do like that was my how do you call it? Like being my logic
Yeah.
was if I finish a 5K on the treadmill, I
Yeah.
can go out and run outside and people won't suspect that I'm not a runner. That's what I was thinking. So I ended up, yeah, doing that. Like I
Okay.
did the 5K and then I went out and then I got obviously very excited and I started doing then after that a 10K and then I got runner's knee and I was like, oh, my running journey is done forever. I'm done. But like 2 or 3 days later, I was fine and then
Yeah.
I started Like the first thing I signed up was a half marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Back then was here in Dallas, the rock and roll.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And yeah, and that was 10 years ago.
Okay.
In well, almost 11 years ago in 2014. Um, and at the time, I was starting like just for fun, just me. I didn't care about literally anything else, like social media. I mean, back then,
Yeah.
social media or anything at all. I was just like, I love doing this. I was doing super sexy pace. I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I think I even remember like the time that I did. I think I did like 218.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so but I had the best time ever. It was like amazing. I wanted to do it again and all that. And that's how it started.
Oh, wow, wow. And it's crazy that, from you wanting to run a 5K just to be outside, you went from that to a half marathon, That's that's
Yeah,
that's that's that's
I know.
amazing. And 218 is not bad. Not bad. I
No,
I
yeah.
my first half marathon was a rock and roll as well. It was in
Uh,
Vegas, and
oh,
I
I
did
did
like
that.
230.
Okay.
230, and I was so pissed at myself because
Uh,
I knew I could do better,
yeah.
and the weather's beautiful. Back then when I did it the first time, it was in November. Now they do it in
Okay.
February.
Uh-huh.
But now I
Yeah.
know why they changed it, which they probably
Mhm.
don't say it because the F1 racing is in November.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think that must be the reason why they changed it.
Yeah.
But it made me want to do it again. And so the second time I did it, I finally broke that 230 mark. I did 2 hours,
Oh,
which I
nice.
still think I could do better. So I'm still trying to improve that time, But
Yeah.
but honestly, rock and roll series races are meant to have fun. I
Yeah.
think anywhere you go, if you do it in Vegas, obviously even more
Mhm.
because it's on the strip.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just trying to improve. If I can improve a little bit,
Mhm.
and still have fun, that's my competitive spirit, I guess. But yeah, I mean, half marathon, 218. What did you do after that?
After that, a couple of local races,
Hmm.
and then I signed up for Chicago.
Okay.
That was my first marathon.
Hmm.
And it's so funny how, looking back, how I signed up and immediately got in. I mean, yeah, like this year, like
Yeah.
this past one, I signed up again and it didn't get in.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't get in. It was crazy because I remember when I did it, I think it was like 40,000 people.
Hmm.
This time it's supposed to be 52,000.
Yeah.
Uh, so it increased a lot.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the running craze is kind of like going
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And that was like and even then I think like around that time I wasn't
Hmm.
even still with the social media and all that. I was still not really 100%. Like
Hmm.
what triggered it was that I was part of a group in Facebook that was called, I think it's still there. It's called Run Feast of the World. So the whole point was to take a selfie after you were done running.
Okay.
And I started doing that and it escalated to a point where I was like, I'm just not gonna take a picture of myself. I wanted to do it bigger. So I was
Yeah.
doing like the ones that you probably saw, like the one that I sent you today,
Yeah.
the dinosaur chasing me. So I started doing that and a lot of people started liking that a lot. So I didn't have an Instagram. My wife was the one that said, I think you should get that because on Facebook, I had a Facebook page and I was a little hesitant, but it's like, okay, I'll do it. So I did it. Even my first post ever on Instagram is a picture of me being chased by zombies. So yeah, so that's like the essence of my running
Yeah.
journey, like I
Yeah.
like how I liked it. And I kept doing it. Like honestly, that's one thing that well, you've seen it,
Hmm.
how that all of these social media thing has evolved.
Oh yeah.
When I first started, I was very, I would say naive or very just wanted to have fun and never thinking like, oh, I want to have these many followers. Like not even like that wasn't even a thought.
Yeah.
I was just like, if I like what I'm posting, it's
Hmm.
going there.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's been like that. I think like I've been keeping it like that. If I like it, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put it out there. Like that's it. Uh, and then so I did the Chicago Marathon. I had a lot of fun. I
It
did a
is.
pretty decent time. Uh, and then after that, obviously, the circle of friends that I had here in Dallas, everybody
Hmm.
was like, "Now you got to do an ultra." I was like,
Oh.
"That's not gonna happen." Yeah, right. Whatever. And then I think it was the same. The next year, I think I did a 50K, my
Oh
first one.
wow.
Yeah, and then other races. I mean, I done New York or
Hmm.
like other marathons. The
Yeah.
Dallas Marathon, actually, I started doing it since 2015 till last year, every
Oh
single year.
wow.
I if I don't do the marathon, I do the half, or I've done the ultra too. But yeah, it's been like that. It's been like mostly. I mean, oh, and I forgot to say that I got to a point where 50K. And then obviously, like when I finished that, it's like, oh, now you everybody like you gotta do 100 miler or something like. And I didn't get to that point, but I did 50 milers too.
Okay.
I did two here in Waxahachie. There's a really great one called Hatchie 50,
Okay.
and that's another one. That's that kind of like if I want to define myself or describe myself for somebody as a runner,
Hmm.
that's kind of like the essence of me. Like
Okay.
because whenever I sign up, nobody from my friends was gonna come. Nobody, like it was nobody asked me that. I just did
Yeah.
everything on my own. I
Yeah.
was like, I want to run a 50 miler. That's
Hmm.
it. And I started training on my own and I did the first time, I feel like I suffered a lot. It was kind of like, yeah, I
Yeah.
struggled. But the second time around, it was easier. Like I
Yeah.
shaved off like a whole hour.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I did 10 hours.
Wow.
And it's funny because like not too long ago, I don't know if you've seen that website Athlinks
Yes,
where you
yes.
can see like all your official races.
Hmm.
I was like going through all the races and then I saw that on my second 50 miler I placed third in my age group and I didn't stay for it. And like I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, hmm. I was like, well, there's that. That's
I
I
wonder
did it.
if you can contact the race and be, where's my
I
award?
right. Yeah, I actually know them. I saw him at the Dallas Expo. I could have just like, hey, where's my thing?
Hey, remember
And
that year?
yeah, same. Yeah, but it's like it's all good. Like I said, I had fun, and that's the best part that it will show with races like that will show that what I do is mainly for fun.
Yeah.
And but I mean, if you ask, like you were just saying that you did 230 and then you wanted to do two. All of us runners at some point, because I can honestly tell you the point where I did a virtual. It was what's it called? The blurch.
Okay.
Uh, this the blurch. So it was a virtual of this, the oatmeal comics.
Yeah.
And I went super fast. Like I did like a sub two.
Oh
Okay. I
wow.
don't remember the time, but I posted it on social media and some guy said, wow, man, like your time, you're getting faster. Look at that. When he said that, that's like something that a switch. Like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing. So I'm gonna start trying. So I
Yeah.
started going and going and all my races I start to, the classic typical PR thing.
Hmm.
So all my races, all my like, and that's another thing that I never did a 5K or a 10K before because I went straight up
Yeah.
to
To the
half.
half.
So I have a really amazing 5K PR, 10K PR, half a full. All of them have like really good numbers. But, like this is one thing I can tell people listening to this is like, yes, it's great. Yes, it's amazing. But sometimes we kind of like get so obsessed about it
Yeah.
that it could be detrimental for your health.
Yeah.
And that happened to me. Like I got a little bit of injuries here and there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is this really worth it? That's when this that
Hmm.
switched again to the part where do you want to do this just for the short time and have the fastest times?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do this until you're like 70 and still running and have fun with friends? And
Yeah.
so that's why you see what you see about me now,
Yeah.
because I'm very into that side of things that I don't want to overdo it. I don't
Yeah.
want to like I already did in my opinion, I already did my fastest marathon, half, whatever you want to call it, all the races.
Yeah.
So I mean, why
Now it's
worry
just
about it?
just to have fun now.
Yes,
Now you're ripping the benefits of your hard work, right?
exactly. Yes.
No, but you're right, man, because I've gone through that too, like where I want to go someone told me, it's funny that you say that because someone told me, "Oh my God, you're
Yeah.
really fast." And
Yeah.
that's kind of like an ego boost, you know?
Yes.
You feel like you're
Yeah.
like an elite runner. At least I did, and
Yeah.
I definitely took a hard hit and finding out that that's not it.
And then
But
you will say, "Oh, no, I'm not." Like, but in your mind, like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine."
exactly. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm faster than you kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know? But it's funny because I got a whole bunch of injuries because of me trying to train hard to
Yeah.
hit those times. And there's nothing wrong with training because you should train
Yeah.
regardless, you know, that's
Yeah.
obvious. But, you know, then I started not even enjoying running. You know, when you're at a point where you're like that and you are not enjoying running, then that's where you need to like rethink your priorities. You know, you started running for a reason. You started running because you want to have fun, you want to be healthy, you
Yeah.
know. That is number one, you know. And you know, it took me a long time to realize that. And now, you know, I do train for marathons, I do train for things like that. If you know I'm at a marathon and you know I'm at mile 20 and I feel great, then why not, you know, be able to push a little bit, you know? But most of the times I'm like, whatever happens at the marathon happens, just remember, have fun. You know,
Yeah.
just enjoy your time, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the people that are running with you, enjoy your friends that are running with you, you
Yeah.
know, and that's helped me out because you are right. Not only, and it's not only just physically they can hurt, you can mentally also take a big hit because if you put yourself really, you know, ingrained that, oh, I got a PR, I got a PR, I got a PR, and then you don't, and then maybe you go three, four races and you don't PR, then that
Exactly.
really affects your mental health
Mm-hmm.
because then you start thinking, man, it's obviously me. I'm no good. I'm, you know, and that really
Yeah.
does, you know, mess with you. So I do appreciate you bringing that up because it is very important for the runners and anybody, you know, the listeners to understand that running is to have fun, is to enjoy the process. You know,
Yeah.
so that I really do appreciate you, you know, reminding us about that. You know.
Especially the beginners. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know, like now, this is kind of like a uh, strange position in and when it comes to me in my life,
Yeah.
because I did all this time of running and being part of the social media and the community, and they knew me here,
Yeah.
and then started working for Hoka, and now it's gotten bigger. Now it's like I have a bigger relationship with more places and more communities.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time. I see like the people that just started and get
Mm-hmm.
very excited, and they think like, okay, I did a 5K, now I'm gonna do a marathon. It's like, okay, I think you need to relax a little. Like,
Yeah.
take it day by day. Just
Yeah.
don't get too crazy.
Yeah.
And I've been through it all. Like I've been through the part where I want to give advice to people and they don't listen, or they think that I'm just being, like a hater or something. And
Mm-hmm.
the part where I'm like, oh, somebody's telling me, oh, guess what I'm doing? I'm doing this race and this. Oh, this is my time to just let them live that, let it
Yeah.
live that experience because that happened to me too. And like what you were, I just before I forget, you were saying mentioning uh, Rock and Roll Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably my last race that I did thinking I'm going to PR. That was literally that was in 2019.
Okay.
I went with the group of November Project, like all my friends, and it was an exciting time. And I was like, I'm just gonna rock it. Like it's gonna be awesome. And I did. I did a pretty good time. I think I did like a 148, something like that,
Oh
147.
wow.
And but that was not my fastest, right?
Okay.
So I was like you said, immediately like, oh, what a waste, this and that. It's like after that, it's like, don't even stop doing that
Yeah.
because that's just toxic. Just like it was amazing. You did great. It was fun. After what I was done, just walk out of it just in perfect condition. So that's all you need, like you don't have to force things or make things like happen
Yeah.
if it doesn't really, I mean, like I said, you could probably do it, but at what cost? So,
Yeah.
and then I'm not getting any younger, so
Hey,
that's
you and
another.
I both, bud. You and I both. Yeah, I feel it, man. I feel it in the bones the next day after running a marathon. I
Yeah.
always tell my fiance I feel like I got hit by a bus and then the bus literally came back and reversed and just went at it again, you know. But it's I personally love the marathon distance. I like the challenge. I like the pain. I like the adventure. You know, I call it an adventure because it's 26 miles that you get to enjoy and really think about. You know, I usually think about my future when I'm running. I'm thinking like, what am I going to eat tomorrow and stuff like that. You know, so yeah, for me, the distance, my favorite distance is marathon. And you know, speaking about favorite distances, what is your favorite distance and what makes it your top pick?
So I get asked this a lot, honestly, and I
Yeah,
already know. It's the
the half.
half it's got to be. So I do while I do like running marathons, and I
Mm-hmm.
do like running long distance,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the places, circumstances, logistics, and everything.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you there's a difference between a 50K and a 50K. Like there's one that's probably really good and then ones that not that great.
Yeah.
But when it comes to halves, yeah, it's like what I do enjoy is that I go like yeah, like I said, like I can probably push it a little bit more than the usual.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of it, I'm not like you said, like I'm the next day, I don't feel like I got ran over by like a truck or anything. I feel fine.
Yeah.
So that's a good advantage.
Yeah.
It's a fun race.
Yeah. But no, I and like I'm gonna do Houston in two weeks, a little, yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's gonna be my first race where I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to just let the body tell me what to do,
Uh-huh.
run comfortable.
Are
And
you doing the full?
yeah, I'm doing the full, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I'm doing the full and but I want to make me see that different perspective where you can run and like you said and then wake up the next day and feel fine. You know,
Uh-huh.
so but most of the times I push myself. I do tend to push myself because one is, you know, like they say, you're your hardest critic, you know.
Yeah.
And so definitely this time around, it's gonna be a very fun race. I'm gonna enjoy
Have you
the
done it before?
yeah, it's gonna be my fourth or
Oh,
fifth. I
wow.
think it might be my fifth if I'm not mistaken.
So you're in Houston, you're doing what I do in Dallas.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I'm trying to
I
get that
ne-
the legacy
yeah,
plan. So that's what I'm doing.
I never done Houston. Like, and I think it's that has a lot to do. Like say I do Dallas and
Hmm.
it's so close that I'm like, I don't think I want to get myself into another like immediately.
Yeah,
So that's why. And but a lot of friends are going, a lot of friends done it before. Like so I
yeah,
really how that goes sometimes. So
It's a fun race here in Houston. It's
mm.
a definitely fun race, and compared to Dallas, it's very flat. It's a
Yeah,
very flat
yeah,
race, um, and it's fun. It could not be fun depending on how the weather is, you
yeah.
know.
I
But
know.
you know, for
Yes.
the most part, it is. It's pretty fun. I've ran only once where the weather did not cooperate.
Yeah,
But you know, you train for that. You know,
yeah.
I don't have the hills, but I do have the humidity, the 90% humidity, so that helps out. But it's a cool race, man. It's fun,
Yeah,
you know.
that's what
And
I
a
like.
half, I love the halves too. Don't get me wrong. A half, I love it because um, it's just that perfect place where you can still run comfortably and again not feel like you died halfway,
Mm,
you know. And it's to me a half is most of the time it's definitely a fun race. I
hmm.
usually like to enjoy the race, especially depending also on where you're at, because I've run half marathons where there's nothing you can see. It's pretty dull. Um,
Yeah.
I myself am a person that likes to run races where it's not looped. I did one time one that was looped, and oh my God, it's the worst. It's the
Oh,
worst.
I
Because
actually like that. I like,
really?
yeah, because my first 50K was a 5K loop.
Okay.
The 50 milers was a 10 miler five
Mm-hmm.
times. Uh, but like it's maybe depends on some. Like I hear that like what you're saying. I hear some people it's like it's not my thing, and for me it's like I mean I like it.
I
Yeah,
think I think with the in ultras, I think I see the reason why.
yeah,
More for me, it's like the road racing, like when they're looped.
yeah,
Um, Maybe it's my ADHD, I don't know, but you know,
yeah,
but I can understand why on trails it's more common to see the loops. You know,
yeah.
there are
Oh
their
yeah.
point to points, but and speaking
What?
about that, have you ever done the Habanero 100, the
Um,
50K?
so that's one thing that you need to know. I don't do trail. I don't.
Okay,
I think I only done a few times run and trail. I
okay,
have a friend that actually she got married in Seattle,
mm-hmm.
Washington, and she did her wedding, the whole wedding around trail. Like it
Okay.
was the theme. So all
Oh
the
wow,
people that, yeah, all the people that was invited, like most of us were runners. So
yeah.
we ran around the trail in the area, and then there was a photo session. And after that, they got married by her dad, actually. So it's pretty cool. Like
Oh, and what happens if you DNF?
right. No, it was actually I now thinking about it, I think we did a 10K. So
Okay.
and I remember doing pretty decent. I mean, for somebody that never runs on
Yeah.
trail, but it gave me the experience of like, oh, okay, so this is what like you one thing that I noticed on trails is you need to be very like engaged
Oh
on
yeah.
everything, otherwise you're gonna trip. Um, and time went by pretty fast. But yeah, I'm mostly, as you
Road.
can see, as you've seen probably,
Yeah.
road and treadmill. That's
Okay.
those are my
Well, let's speak
main
about
thing.
that treadmill thing. I am very amazed on treadmill, the amount or distance that you do, because I'll be honest with you, and this is definitely my ADHD. I know it
Uh-huh.
is. I can barely muster 3 miles on a treadmill
Okay.
before my brain is telling me get off because this is getting too boring. How do you manage to run these 10, like you said, or before we started recording, you said that you had just done like 10 miles or 15 miles in a
Yes,
treadmill.
15.
How do you keep yourself engaged, man, in
And
running
that
on the treadmill?
well, and then like for New Year's Eve, I did 50K on
Yeah,
the trip.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I actually like it.
yeah.
And the thing is, so I guess what accentuated that the most was when I was, remember at the beginning, I said how I got into running was because of the
Hmm.
treadmill.
Yeah.
So I started going to and at the gym, I will go and I will do a little bit of that,
Hmm.
like strength training and stuff. But then at one point, uh, I was training for a marathon and I was just strictly just going to the treadmill. And my wife was like, why don't you just, like buy a treadmill and just stop going to the gym? And I was like, okay. Oh, I'll do that. So
Yeah.
I did, and I had it. My treadmill broke down like maybe a year ago or so, but I had it for like 7, 8 years maybe.
Yeah.
And I mean, I ran in that thing a lot. Like
Oh, wow.
if I had it today, I will probably run today there because it's in the garage and it's just great.
Yeah.
Uh, but that's and another thing is most people, I don't know what you do when you run on the treadmill, but a
Hmm.
lot of people try to find a way to just kind of like, like entertain their mind to just avoid the moment where they're running,
Yeah.
the moment where when they are at the treadmill. And like everybody else, I tried that. Like I tried watching movies or shows or whatever. I tried audiobooks, and obviously music
Hmm.
and nothing, all of that. And and at the end, yeah, that music was the thing that
The
I'm
best.
just that's all. That's all I need. Like and another thing that I always people whenever they ask me for advice on it,
Yeah.
I'll say maybe this will work for you. I don't know.
Sure.
You can use it.
Yeah.
Whenever I do treadmill,
Hmm.
for me I always pump myself up towards that moment instead of dreading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people is like, oh, today's treadmill day. Well, and then you're like
Yeah.
slowly dreading, like,
You're
oh,
setting yourself self
yeah,
up for failure, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, like there's a lot of benefits on it. One of them is it's a break for your joints from the pounding outside. Like
Yeah.
definitely 100%. That's scientifically proven. So it's gonna be good for your body. The second part is make it special. Like I do, I'll say like this is my time. It's not my time with my friends or going out running. Like, no, no, no. This is for me. Like
Hmm.
nobody else enjoys this but me. That's
Yeah.
why. And I think that's mainly it. Um, but also, well, that's one thing that I do. I'll
Yeah.
say like from like yesterday, I was like, I'm gonna run 15 miles. That's the number.
Yeah.
I'm not negotiating. I'm not saying less. I'm not saying more because that'll be unfair. But whenever I did the 50K, that's one
Yeah.
thing I was like, I haven't done maybe when I was in Mexico on vacation, I was like, I haven't run this whole week. I want to do a 50K on the treadmill. Whenever it's New Year's Eve, I'm gonna do it. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all it took. And I done it in the past. That's not the first time. I think I've done a 50K on the treadmill 3 times or 4 times,
Yeah.
and I've done 2 marathons, 3 marathons, one a virtual one. But all the times I'm gonna do this. Like it's just not no hesitation.
It's
So
it's
I
it's
feel
a lot
like
of positive reinforcement. I hear.
yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the people that I know and like my circle of friends, like all the people, like the thing that will stop us to do a lot of the things that we think we can do is that you're thinking you can't do it. But
Yeah.
I mean, if I did it, come on.
Yeah. No, you're right. And in hindsight, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's probably the mentality I've had to where
Yeah.
like I see the treadmill, I'm like,
Mhm.
I gotta run the treadmill. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's it and yeah, it sets you up because I mean,
Mhm.
hell, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. You know, you wake up in
Yeah.
in the morning at 5:30 in the morning and you're like, "Oh my God, I gotta wake up to go run early in the morning." And that in the morning when you wake up, that really makes you want not want to do it. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, I've actually woken up, gone to the bathroom to do, the routine, and then I
Yeah.
get out and I go straight back to bed because I'm already thinking negative, you know?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It makes sense.
You
Yeah.
know?
So, but that's the thing, the approach, like whenever, like I said, in my case, I'll go thinking, I'm going to do this today. It's
Hmm.
just, something special, something that I can do, like not a lot of people can do.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I remember back in the day when I first started running, that a lot of people will say that anybody could run, like anybody can do this. And even people that used to run with me, like in groups, they will say that. And in my head, I will be like, you really need to be a special kind of person to be a runner, that
Yeah.
you can't just say anybody. Yeah, anybody can like physically run,
Yeah.
but that's not the same as saying like, I'm gonna step on the treadmill and run via 50K. So it takes, like I said, like that mindset,
Yeah.
motivation, like determination. So,
I'm
uh,
definitely gonna change that. I'm gonna make not make myself, but I'm gonna make those changes to see things a little bit better. Because yeah, like I mentioned to you, I was like that, uh,
yeah,
you know. But definitely, I need to find something that I like. Like you said, you found music being
yeah,
the source of being able to do that.
yeah.
I definitely need to do that. I think music would probably be mine because I'm not very coordinated. That's my problem too. So if I
Oh,
put something visual like a video or a
oh,
movie, I'm
oh,
gonna
yeah.
fall. I'm gonna fall off the damn thing.
No,
It's
that's I don't know how people like doing that, like watching stuff. It's yeah.
yeah.
But one thing I can tell you that will give you an idea, and then you can
Hmm.
go if you want to my Instagram and look that up.
Yeah.
Like my that 50K that I did.
Hmm.
This is the first time like I did one last year and the year before, I think.
Hmm.
But when I wasn't doing it on the treadmill, I will go like every I for 4 or 5 years. Here in Dallas, there's a group, they're still doing it. They go from Dallas to Fort Worth, and then the next year they will go from Fort Worth to Dallas. So I was
Okay.
doing that with that group. It was fun, 34 miles.
Oh wow.
Uh, yeah. But at some point I was like you, like exactly what you said. As I was getting older, I was like, the next day, I was dead.
Yeah.
Uh, so the option of the treadmill is a little more forgiving. So,
Yeah.
and I like it. So let's go for it. So what I was gonna say is
Hmm.
that this past 50K, when I posted it, I was
Hmm.
very mindful and very like, I really wanted people to get the idea of. I think if you saw, if you read that, I said a lot of people already in the past 10 years have been saying the same comments over and over. Oh, I hate the treadmill. I don't know how you do it. I can only last 1 mile. It's like I don't want to hear any of that because
Yeah.
I heard it way too many times. If
Yeah.
you want to say something here, say something positive, and that worked. Like a lot of people started saying a lot of like very positive things. It's just I feel like whenever we post something on social media, you're the one responsible of where is this going to go to? Like, how is this going to look?
Yeah.
And how is this going to influence other people in the long run, pun intended? Like, if somebody comes and see that I did that, and then they see the comments, they'll be like, oh, there's something here. Maybe I should do it. So instead of like, because that's what we all do. Like, I mean, you're gonna say, tell me if I'm lying, but we see videos and we see a video that has something negative and immediately we go to the comments and
Oh
see
yeah.
what it's
Oh
to
yeah.
get all the tea, to get all the chisme, like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, saying
Yeah.
like, and that's not even like, what's the point of that? Like, I guess maybe entertainment, but
Yeah.
uh, in our cases, what we need is more a little inspiration and motivation more than that. Like, that's not gonna do any good. So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, I agree. It's crazy how social media, even when you post positive things, you always will have that one person, that negative person, uh, criticizing what you're doing.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's crazy, and I try to do that myself on my social media with this podcast as well. Try to bring more positivity, and that's why I try to bring runners from every aspect, from your elite runners to your back of the pack to your middle of the pack to your, you know, even influencers or whatever, because everybody has something positive to say, But I really, really, post things on my Instagram personally to motivate people to let them know that, if you want to start running, do it. Don't think about it. Do it. You know,
yeah,
and that's always what I've done since the first day I started running and the first day I decided to post my stuff. And in my case, I started posting on Instagram more of a kind of like a checkup for me,
yeah,
because I was not a runner. I was not in the best shape, and I wanted to be able to go back, like, oh, let me see 3 years ago. I want to see where I was at and where I'm at
yeah.
now.
The
It was more
progress.
of a, yeah, personal liability, if you want to call it,
Yeah,
and that turned into, people, I don't have the big following, but the people that follow me, they always are very positive and they enjoy and tell me, and that's all you need,
that's
that
exactly.
positivity,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
that's you can have, 100,000 people, but 50 or half
exactly.
of those are just there to leave bad comments or
Yeah,
or just
yeah,
just criticize people that comment as well, and
yeah,
it's not needed, man. This world is
yeah,
already crazy enough for that.
yeah.
But and in that aspect, I'm pretty sure you do. How do you handle all that criticism, the negativity on social media? When because I'm sure you have gotten or you get DMs or people that are uh, not commenting for the right reasons. Let's say, how do you handle that?
Well, I had, I've been very lucky
Hmm.
because I do have friends that they get a lot of hate.
Yeah.
I don't really, I feel like sometimes I do, but throughout the years, I mean, they can probably tell you if you go and talk to other people.
Hmm.
Like, as the following has gotten bigger, like, I feel like I've been a little more immune to it.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, I remember like somebody will leave one bad comment and I will be thinking about it for days. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh, this is horrible. Like, or get back to them, like trying to, like, um, shut them up or like, like trying to
Yeah.
be, yeah, like, oh, I won. Like, they're never gonna win with anybody like that. Like,
Yeah.
first off, you don't even know if it's who that is, who's
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
It could be somebody you know. It could be somebody that has no idea who you are, and they're just coming and doing like random mean comments everywhere.
Hmm.
So yeah, what I do is a good example I can give you, and
Hmm.
you probably saw it that I did that reel about influencers doing a marathon without training.
Yeah.
Oh, that every day I get comments on that, and every day I have to, kind of like screen the comments and see if they're not saying anything really bad.
Yeah.
And some people, that reel is so big that it's to a point where I'm not even part of the conversation anymore. It's like people fighting amongst themselves,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm like, good for you. Like, if that entertains you, I'm not here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna debate that. But yeah, like, for that reel, for instance, I started seeing it. I'm like, I'm not gonna answer any of this. There was some lady that called me stupid, like straight up, like what you did here is just stupid.
Yeah.
So I just deleted it. I delete like, and I mean, people can say whatever they want about me, or like
Yeah.
they can have the opinion they want of my procedures, but I feel like it's better to just, that's not, like I said before, if it's something negative, just, completely delete
Yeah.
and, but yeah, I'm not gonna talk about this because
Yeah.
it's like a waste of my time. And that was not even the point. You didn't even get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I only think that that shows mostly on the comments publicly. I don't think I ever had somebody that's been like sending me private messages or anything. Somebody actually, now that I say that, I remember a few days ago, somebody sent me a message and it was kind of creepy because it was like he had no face. It was most likely one of those
Spam.
scammers,
Yeah.
spam, something like that. But it
Yeah.
said something like, "You live in this area, right?" Like they know the city where I live, and
Oh,
they said,
wow.
I saw you walking around outside with a little dog, right? That was you." And I was like, "Oh, that's very specific." But my
Yeah.
little dog, I never take her out to walk, like for walks or anything, like
Yeah.
ever. And it's like somebody's been snooping around in my stuff and just came and say that to kind of like fishing,
Yeah.
see what I would say, like, and I just deleted it. But like I said, mainly it's public. Like it's not really that bad
Yeah.
because, like I said, I have other friends that I seen it. And it's like, ugh, like
Yeah.
it's very intense.
I feel like the bigger you are in social media, like you're a big influencer,
Yeah,
that's really where the hate really gets really bad. Me, I mean, I don't really even consider myself a real big influencer at all. Um, but I get some messages every now and then on my personal IG, and they ask me like, why do you post your stuff all the time? Like, are you showing off? You're not even fast, and I don't even answer it. I just, brush it off because it's if you feel to that fire, it's then they already got what they wanted, piss you
yeah,
off or
yeah, exactly.
rattle you, so I just let it go, and I move on.
Yeah,
Because yeah, at the beginning I was kind of like that. I was like, why doesn't he like me? Like, what is it about it that he doesn't like me? Like,
yeah,
there's no reason. I don't even know you,
yeah,
and then it becomes a all day thinking about it, like you said,
yeah.
and it's taking too much time out of your day for something that's just not important. So kudos to you as well that you have that same mentality. But I mean, you have. It's hard to think that you will have that many haters to begin with because everything that you post is very positive and very fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'll say that. And one thing that's kind of like for me, it's always surprising or funny is that people will, whenever I go to expos or traces, they will come and they will talk to me like we known each other forever, and it's like I don't. But I will always appreciate that, and I will talk to them. I will take pictures and all that. Like last night, last night before I started my run, a guy came in and started talking to me and asked me about Hoka, about the shoes
uh-huh.
and all.
Uh-huh.
And I explained, and then I introduced myself, and then he said, "Oh yeah, I know who you are. You're from Instagram." It's like, oh, okay. I honestly didn't expect that, but it's that's how it is. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's it's well received, and I really appreciate it because it's like you said, it's something that I do from the inside. Like it's not
Hmm.
I'm not a fake person. I
Yeah, it's
don't
genuine. It's genuine
yeah.
for sure, for
I
sure.
I'm not doing it for likes, or I'm not like I'm whatever's been happening, it's been happening because like you said, if people like it and they think it's funny and inspirational or positive.
And it's
that
not forced, man. You don't force your stuff. It looks
yeah,
genuine. It looks like you're having fun. And I think in the aspect when you're talking about social media, a lot of people start doing things for that. Like they're
yeah,
pushing it. They're pushing so they can become famous or they can have that
yeah,
one viral video.
yeah,
And usually when you do that for that reason, it always fails. You know,
yeah, yeah,
when
oh
you
yeah,
do it when you do it for the
yeah,
right reasons, when you do it like you said for fun to
yeah,
hell in one way keep yourself entertained, personally,
yeah,
it
yeah,
it it, it it's surprisingly how it just happens. People start liking it, you get more
Hmm.
followers when you're
Yeah.
not looking into that, when you're not concentrating into that. So
Hmm.
I always remind myself about that, like with the podcast. I'm doing it for fun. I'm doing it to meet new people. I'm doing it to
Hmm.
give the people like yourself a
Really
platform
good
to
idea.
talk,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And if something happens, hell, if one day this becomes my full-time job, then it's fine. If it doesn't, I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's really my mentality for, everything I do. Because
Hmm.
if I start doing it for the fame, or because I want to be famous, or I want to be an influencer, then
Yeah.
the fun's gonna be out. It's not gonna be there anymore. So
Yeah.
I
One
love that. I love that about you.
and one thing I can tell you that
Hmm.
hopefully people can listen to this, and
Hmm.
I hope they don't think, oh, again, oh, this guy's a hater. He doesn't want anybody to succeed or anything.
Yeah.
I've been doing it, like I said, if you remember, like I started doing Instagram in 2015.
Okay.
So 10 years.
Yeah.
And yes, yes, I tried to do the influencer thing. I had I was with agencies, I did work, like actual work, and I got paid, all of that.
Hmm.
But it's not, that's my opinion, okay? That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's very stressing, like very like it's not giving you that that freedom. Like if that's your full-time job, I
Yeah.
will say like you're gonna be stressed out every day thinking what should I do like in a creative way, like to
Yeah.
come up with content and all that.
Yeah.
Uh, and I do like at the moment, yes, I do things with brands and all that, but it's more like if I do like them, I'll do it
Yeah.
and promote it, and it's fine, like on my own terms. Uh,
Exactly.
Instead of like, oh, they are giving me this and this for free, and then they're gonna pay me a little bit of this, and that's you're thinking you're making the deal of your life, and it's not really. In reality, you're like changing trading what was really fun for you at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now it's a chore. Now it's like, oh, I
It's a
have to.
job.
Yeah, and like you said, in your case, that you're saying that your podcast, like that'll be amazing if that becomes your full-time job. But
But in
for
my
other
terms,
people,
definitely in my
yes,
terms.
exactly. But if it's something like, oh, somebody wants is forcing you to do a whole different uh, profile or idea,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't want to do it, but it's a good money, like it's
No.
nah, So to all the people out there that is really, really trying hard, please enjoy life because like if you really started this for running,
Hmm.
keep the running there. Like
Yeah.
it's just that's all I can tell them because it's not even worth it, honestly.
Yeah. No, and I see that. I see that with other people. I have a few friends that are more, advanced in the social media, and I
Mhm.
see how stressed they get because they're like, "Oh my God, I
Yeah,
don't have an idea and I need to
yeah,
post. I need to post one thing every day."
yeah,
And, I don't post every day on my
no,
Instagram, and I don't stress like, "Oh my God, I didn't put anything.
exactly,
I'm gonna
exactly.
lose the followers," or,
Yes, yeah,
it's I post
exactly.
whenever I got something to say. I even tell that to my mom because my mom gets mad at me because she's like, "Why didn't you call me today?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't have anything to say."
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
These past holidays,
Yeah.
I not gonna name any names, but
Hmm.
people that I know that I follow that on the day of like on Christmas Eve and
Hmm.
Christmas morning, they
Hmm.
were posting and posting and like I mean stories, okay, I get it, but like actual posts with the actual content, I'm like maybe why don't you give it a break? Like in my case, I think I didn't post anything that whole week
Yeah.
because I was with family, I was doing
Hmm.
things like it is how
Yeah.
that's how it is. Like
Yeah.
live your life and then that's secondary for me. But in
Yeah.
their cases, I guess that comes first, and
Yeah.
that's kind of nah.
No, and I did the same for the podcast. I actually posted a video, what was it, like 2 weeks before Christmas. And I basically said, we're taking a break to spend time with our loved ones. And
Yeah.
I did not start doing things for the podcast till January, like 2nd or something like that, because we need to have that time. We need to have that time
Yeah.
to relax. And that's probably going to be the way it is. Like on my birthday, probably I'm not going to do anything on social media because I want to spend time. And that's like you said, on your own terms. That's
Yeah.
if I ever get to the point where I can do this as a full-time job, it will be the way I wanted it. I will promote brands that I believe in. It will be things that I will do it my like the way I want to. I don't want to feel like this X brand has control over my
Yeah.
creative ability, and
Yeah.
that's just not me, and it's never been me. I also
No,
am an
and
ambassador for other companies like Rabbit, for example. I love Rabbit,
yeah.
but I only am ambassador for things that I believe in. You
Yeah.
know,
And
as a matter of fact, someone showed up the other day and asked me to do a video for something that I didn't even know what it was. And I'm like,
yeah.
no, no, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do that. I was like, I
That
don't care how
happens.
much money you give me, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I strongly agree with what you said for sure, man.
Yeah. And another thing that I kind of like forgot to mention
Mm-hmm.
that gives me even more credentials to this is I work as a social media manager last year, all
Mm-hmm.
year for another page. And I was doing creative content literally every day. So that's exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
And but I was getting paid.
Yeah.
So and on top of that, I had to do my own content. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like now whenever I started working for Hoka, it's
Mm-hmm.
like okay, I think I found my calling, so that's it. And not that I hated that job, but I'll say if that's a job, that's an actual job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
so if you're doing content every day, getting creative every day, and you're not getting any money, then what are you doing? Like so,
Yeah, you need to rethink for sure, for sure.
yes,
And
yes.
speaking about Hoka, and this is, I'm almost sure I have a couple ideas what it is, but I will still ask it. What's your favorite piece of running gear that you must have for when you run?
Mm,
I,
uh,
I, I let me tell you, I think obviously it's your Hokas
yeah. Uh,
and hats.
could be, yes, yes, yes. I'll say so. That's the thing with the hats.
Mm-hmm.
I usually wear them when it's more like uh, warm weather
Mm-hmm.
because like the
Yeah.
sweat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the shoes probably, yeah, that's essential.
Yeah.
Then I'm trying to think. Like now, I would say that one of the things that I always wear all the time, it's a fanny pack, a Hoka fanny pack that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be big on like spy belt. Uh, and even before that, like most people, one of those arm bands.
Oh yeah, like for the
But
for the
yeah,
phone or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. But now it's that. And I'm so used to it, to the fanny pack, because like the Dallas Marathon, I put literally everything in there, like fuel, pickle juice, everything.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so I like it a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. And Carlos, I definitely don't want to take too much of your time. So we're here at the point with the tradition that I have, which is where our previous episode, which was episode 18,
Mhm.
Gus had a question for the episode 19, which is yourself. So we'll go ahead and give Gus a chance here to ask the question. Actually, no, it wasn't Gus. It's Sam. Sam, my friend Sam, that did the question. So we'll give Sam some time here to ask the question, and then you'll be able to answer. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
What is your go-to recovery tool? Whether it be ice bath, sauna, Theragun, yoga.
Hmm.
Okay, so the question was about the the things that I use for recovery, right?
Hmm.
So I have two things. I thought
Okay.
about this immediately. Last year, around February, I got a little bit of an injury on my knee and
Mm-hmm.
my hip, both. I had the hip, it was like coming and going.
Okay.
So, I mean, aside of going to the chiro, I have these two things. One is, and nobody, I'm not getting paid for this, not advertised, nothing. I chose to buy that. It's a Kenyan. I don't know if you heard of Kenyan. Uh,
Yes.
it's a red light.
Yeah.
Yeah, so red light therapy. I use it on my knee. I mean, used it. Like I gotta say, like at this moment,
Mm-hmm.
for the last maybe like a month or so after even after the Dallas Marathon, no pain on my knee at all. So it does work. That machine works.
Okay.
And the other one for my hip and sometimes for the knee was an EMS machine, like an electric muscle stimulation.
Okay.
Uh, and I love using both because they actually work and they help. But like I said, like recently, like the past week or so, I had no discomfort, no pain of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been fine. So hopefully I don't get to use them a lot.
Yeah, those things when you don't have to use them, it's a good day. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
But it's good to have them when you do need them. So
yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely, definitely. And just last question that I have for you, Carlos, before you continue the tradition of the questions. Um,
Mhm.
what would be the advice you would give someone who just started and is looking into, picking up running?
Okay. Well, the best advice I can give is start slow. Uh, don't compare yourself to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's your own journey. Whatever you're doing it great. Uh, don't go and like I said in the beginning, don't go from a 5K to a full marathon.
Yeah.
Just like if if 5K is all you can do,
Mm-hmm.
go for it. And one day you'll get to that point.
Yeah,
If a half is all you can do that.
that's
But
fine.
yeah, like just main like those are the main things. And also respect the recovery just as much as you respect running.
Yeah, yeah. Is that something you would have given yourself advice
Oh,
going from a 5K and a treadmill to a half?
yeah, yes. Yeah, so that's the thing. See, like
Yeah,
now looking back, I'm like, okay, now I know that I need to stretch, I need to recover properly, all of
yeah,
that. Before I was like, whatever, let's just
yeah,
go. Let's just run a 50 miler with no warm up or stretching. Just
yeah.
do it.
Just do it. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
I also could have learned that myself. So
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. But yeah, like I said, we're here at the end. Carlos, do you have a question for what would be our episode 20 guest?
Mm. Oh, a question
Yeah.
I will ask your next guest. What was their favorite race and why?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. We will definitely do that. And Carlos, where can somebody find you on social media?
Social media, I will say the Instagram,
Okay.
Carlos the Runner.
Okay.
I do in on Strava, I'm the same. I'm Carlos the
Mm-hmm.
Runner.
Mm-hmm.
I do have TikTok, but I don't really count that. I don't really use it. I don't know if you have that too. Like a lot of people is like, I'm more of an spectator on that than just doing
I
things.
have one, but I'm still having a hard
But
time figuring it out. So
I don't really, it's not my thing. And I'm okay with it. Like
yeah.
I love posting on Instagram. So
But I do like
that's,
watching the meme videos. There's some really
yeah, yeah,
funny videos in there. So
yeah,
that's what entertains me sometimes and keeps me
yeah,
awake at night sometimes. So
yeah.
that it's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. So but yeah,
Exactly.
so we can find you on Instagram at Carlos the Runner. Awesome, awesome. And any races coming up? Anything that you would like to tell us?
So most likely some local race that I'm gonna be doing soon.
Mhm.
If I gotta say this, if you're listening and you are gonna be doing the Miami Marathon, I'm gonna be there. I'm not gonna
Awesome.
be running, but I'm gonna be working with Hoka
Okay.
that weekend at the expo. So if you see a guy that's, like looks like me, like that's me with Hoka. We're gonna be also doing Hoka is gonna be taking care of a cheer station for the marathon on Sunday.
Nice.
So they're gonna see me there too.
Awesome. Awesome.
And my next race is not gonna be until April. I'm gonna do Big Sur.
Ooh.
Uh, yeah, so I'm aiming to do the 20 miler. And my wife asked me why, and I said because it's a 20 miler. It's not a full marathon.
Yeah.
So I like the sound of that, the
Yeah.
21 number. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, Carlos. I appreciate your time more than anything. And you are a very inspirational and fun person. I love what you do on your social media. Continue to do what you want to do, and definitely, we will hopefully meet each other one day in a
Yeah.
race or something like that, or maybe
Yeah.
maybe Hoka decides to send you to Houston or something. You never know.
Yeah. The funny part is like last year I was this close to go, but I didn't start working there until after. So, but this year they already have the crew. So, and also
Yeah.
I'm going to Miami. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
one day, one
One
day.
day, for sure, for sure. We'll definitely find a race that we can both go. I do want to do the Dallas half, so that might be the place where we'll meet for
Yeah.
sure, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Carlos, again, thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and you have yourself a good night, man.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye, Carlos.
Bye.